Am I doing it right?
So you might be smoking a little too fast.
Too fast.
It's supposed to get more like in depth.
Trading is stressful. Especially today, it was really stressful. And I need to unwind. I have a surprise for you. Let's get to it. Now, I want to show you how sometimes I release and unwind from the stress of trading. Hey guys, this is a place that I come sometimes, and a lot of our actually members have been here. Peter have been here, Mike have been here. It's a cigar shop in Gastown, Vancouver, owned by one of my very good friends, Kia.
Thank you very much.
So Kia decided to teach us a little bit about cigars, because once in a while I actually enjoy a really nice Cuban cigars, and in return I'm gonna teach Kia day trading. So you teach me about cigars, I'll teach you about day trading.
Done.
How's it down?
Perfect.
Perfect. So what do you have here for us?
So basically, like when it comes to cigars, like you probably understand, similar to day trading, it's not something you can cover in 10 minutes and cover the whole vast of
There's
it.
a lot of it, isn't it? Yeah.
But basically, like the easy way to look at it is you break it into like two different categories. You go from people not knowing anything about cigars, brand new smokers, and like them wanting to get into it, and then like the middle of the row smokers, the ones who think they're professionals, and maybe even the ones that are. But the easiest is if you've never smoked a cigar, that's a great place to start because there's nothing to worry about. You don't need all the accessories, you don't need to buy anything. You just walk into any store, pick up a cigar, and then you just go from there. And then usually the only thing that I advise is picking the proper size and the proper strength when you're starting on the cigar smoking road, if you want to call it. Going too small sometimes makes it difficult because it's a small cigar, it's harsher, it's stronger, so you assume that maybe if this was strong, when you go to a stronger cigar, it's going to get even worse.
So smaller cigars can be stronger.
It is stronger because it's a narrower diameter. You're not getting as much airflow. So you're smoking this hard. It gets hot in your mouth. The smoke is hot. So the taste becomes bitter. So
Can you show us a couple of them?
Of course, let me show you.
Yeah, let's go in there.
Yeah.
I like to actually my followers to come and see. This is a place that I really like. Smells really, really, really good. Because he's going to explain that because of the humidity and the smell of the cigars.
So with cigars, it's very important that the humidity and the temperature is constant. So it's not just about getting it to that number, but it's keeping it there without the fluctuations.
They say 70-70, 70% humidity,
is
70 Fahrenheit.
That's like the most like basic way of thinking about it. But it depends like what your actual parameters are. Do you want to age your cigar? Do you want to be able to smoke it? Like what your goal
So
is.
you said the smaller ones are stronger.
So smaller in the sense of diameter. So for example, like people who start smoking and they've never smoked, they'll come in here, they'll see this cigar and they're like, oh, this is the perfect starter cigar because it's small. But you smoke this, it's small, you're not getting as much airflow, you're pulling this really hard to keep it going, so every puff is very hot and intense in your mouth. Once you're done this, you're like, okay, this was pretty difficult to smoke, this must be that much worse.
Oh, but it might not necessarily.
But in reality, this is actually easier to smoke than this. It lasts longer, but you have a lot more airflow. Flavors get to build, it doesn't get hot in your mouth, so you're getting cool smoke. So the flavor actually lingers instead of burning your mouth. And
that is interesting to know. And do you have taller than this as well?
Of course.
Which one?
So basically, when you go longer, all you're doing is extending the smoking duration. And with any cigar, just to give you a good idea, the last third is what you're smoking it for. The first 70%, it's like putting all the ingredients together. So all the oils slowly build up, and then it gets better and better and better. When you're down to like the last 30%, that's like what the cigar is supposed to be.
Interesting.
So
I heard somewhere that you smoke only half of the cigars. Is it correct?
No. So you have to go all the way until sort of like the final inch. At a certain point, it starts getting like it gets worse than getting better, and you'll notice in the flavor. And it's usually the same thickness as your finger. So if you can't hold it, that's usually the good indicator that it's time to put it down.
So I have a question for you. You have cigars that I see from $20. What's the most expensive cigar that you have right now in store?
So right now, the most expensive one is about $220.
220. So this is a Davidoff, $220. What's the difference between this one and like a $50 cigar?
So for the most part, when it comes to price, once you get into like premium cigars, you pay for either rarity or just sheer volume of tobacco. So to put it into context, this is a Romeo and Julieta, and this is a Romeo and Julieta. This one's at a lower price point than this, not because it's better or worse, but because it doesn't have as much tobacco.
So
paying for the size.
people should go with this one, apparently.
Depending on how much they want to smoke. So if you want to smoke for example, 30 minutes, this is too much cigar. So you'd end up wasting it, not getting the full potential of the cigar.
And how long does it take for that one?
It's about 1 hour.
1 hour you smoke that one?
Exactly.
And how long that one you smoke?
This one is closer to like 2 and a bit.
2 hours you're sitting with a coffee or whiskey.
Exactly. You take your time, you smoke it. Because another issue with cigars is if you try to rush it, it gets worse. So it gets too hot, you start building up a lot of tar. Instead of it sort of proceeding in a good way, it gets worse and worse and worse. So you want to take your time.
And what happens if you smoke it too fast?
That's what happens. So you start smoking the wrapper. So each cigar consists of 3 different parts. So you have the filler on the inside, you have a binder that puts them together, and then you have the exterior wrapper. So that wrapper burns a lot easier than the other 2 components. When you smoke it too fast, you burn the exterior first, and then the inside tries to follow. So you start getting like a big cone.
Oh, this happens to me all the time. Yeah.
So when you do that, you're actually dissecting it. It's almost like taking like a sushi roll and like opening it up and eating like the nori first, and then eating the rice after, and then eating like
it's horrible.
It doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
So it's a little different.
In theory, could you just light the cigar and then let it sit and let it burn naturally?
It won't burn.
It won't burn.
Yeah, because there's no actual like influence of like flint or paper that keeps the flame going. So if I light this up, puff 2 times, and I stop, it'll be out in a couple minutes.
Okay, so you couldn't just let it naturally get to the good.
So you have to just naturally, So you're just doing that long, gradual draw.
This is really interesting. This one has to go 2 hours.
And sometimes more, because the closer you get to the end, all the oils build up. So the time it takes to smoke the first half is considerably different than the last half. So it'll take exponentially longer on the end because the oils prevent it from burning as fast. So the more it builds up, the longer it's going to take to smoke.
How long is a normal smoking for something this size?
So this is about a 20-minute cigar.
20-minute cigar. So I should go with this one because I usually go with the expensive ones because I think, I'm rich is a good one, and I smoke it too fast and I don't enjoy it.
No, you pick the right cigar for the right occasion.
Why some of them are darker in color?
So basically, all of it depends on where it's from. So some countries do a process on a cigar called Maduro, which basically sweats out the cigar. So you're getting like the natural like oils and sugars out of the cigar, which is a longer process, so it's harder to do, but you get a more in-depth flavor because of it.
So this one has more in-depth flavor than this one because it's darker in the process?
Only within its own brand. So if you compare this Davidoff to one that hasn't been Maduro'd, yes. But other brands, sometimes they might have more intense flavor just because of the tobacco. So you can't really compare 2 brands.
I love the smell. I love the smell. You know, tobacco is actually one of the master plants for shamans in Peru.
Oh, really?
That they do believe that this is like a sacred plant for them.
I believe
and the nicotine really actually opens up the mind.
Okay.
Sometimes I get high on cigars and really come up with good ideas for life.
No, it has this effect of almost like putting your thoughts in a linear path, you know? Like when you have a bunch of stuff on your mind, you sort of go sit down, find a quiet corner, have a cigar to yourself, and then you sort of see like everything sort of come together.
Yeah. So we're gonna actually smoke a cigar with Kia together. We go to at my place in my apartment, and there are manners on how to smoke it, how to cut it. Like for example, I know when you are done with it, you don't smash it.
Exactly.
You let it die.
There's like very like simple manners behind smoking a cigar, but at the same time, you don't want to put it on a pedestal. It's a cigar, you just want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You want to learn to not make the mistakes, but not overcomplicating it either.
They say cigar is bad, but Winston Churchill used to smoke cigar every day
Yeah.
And he lived until 92.
So obviously, being a smoking product, it can't be good for you,
Yeah.
but it's considerably better than the other alternatives because you're not inhaling it, nothing's going on the inside.
Yeah, that's another thing we're actually gonna go discuss, that the way that you smoke a cigar, you actually don't inhale it.
No, so
It
you're
goes to the
tasting
mouth.
it, so it's a flavor thing. So your tongue does naturally take the nicotine in, but it's just taking it in, letting the smoke roll around, taste it, let it out.
Awesome. Is it possible that I pick a cigar now and you show us how we cut it?
Of course.
And you show me how actually we turn it on, because I know it's not easy to turn it
Definitely.
on.
So you pick a cigar and then.
I'll go with this one.
Okay.
This is show this one. This is a $70 cigar. Hoyo de Montre. Is it a good cigar?
It's a very good cigar.
I think he picked it just because it says 69 on it.
69.
I want to choose a Monte Cristo. This one is called the number 2 from Cuba.
From Cuba. It's the Cubans. I know Americans, not easy for you to get Cubans because of the embargo, but in Canada we have it. You don't have any Cohiba left, no?
No, Cohiba's a very hot, in-demand product.
I have at home. After you. But it smells good. This place, I love the smell. See the really nice lighters.
So with this goes on to the second part of what I was talking about, how you have the two classifications of like beginners starting to smoke and then like the next level. When you go to the next level, all the fun starts because now you've sort of like figured out what cigars you like and what you don't. So that sort of becomes like fun on the side, and then all the accessories come into play. So with accessories, it brings in this like extra note of fun because now you get to pick something that sort of speaks to you, like different brands, colors, shapes, etc. And then it accentuates the actual smoking process because when you're smoking a cigar, it's like almost having a whiskey and putting it into a plastic cup. Like the experience is different. It tastes better, even though it shouldn't. Mentally, like that experience is like you have a nice ashtray, you cut it with a nice cutter, you light it with an expensive lighter, and then you go even to the next level and pick something like the ST DuPont from France that every time you open it has that ping. So that ping just like resonates something in your brain where you're like, this is gonna be good, you know?
This is gonna be good. I love that. Again, the ethic it comes with the
It's just a
cigar.
little extra bonus, you know? It's like the nice car, the nice clothes, the nice watch. It's not necessary, you can sort of do it without, but it makes it that one extra level of excitement. And then when it comes to cutting, so now you chose the Hoyo de Monterrey. What kind of cut do you like? Because we have 3 different options.
What are they?
So we can do a straight cut, which is conventional. So 2 blades meets for 1, and all you're trying to do is remove right above the top cap. So you're taking about a 0.5 millimeter off the top. This opens up the flow and allows you to smoke the cigar.
What are the other ones?
Second option, the punch cutter. So it's a circular blade. This literally just goes into the center of the cap. You twist it off, puts a smaller hole which concentrates it. So if you want it to be a little bit stronger, you can do that. Plus, it keeps the cap intact. So instead of putting the whole cigar in your mouth when you smoke, where it gets wet inevitably over time, you're just putting your lips to it. And then third option, it's called a V-cut. So the V-cut is almost like a wedge. So you're taking a full wedge off the center of the cigar. It gives you a very open flow, and it allows the smoke to almost roll around the top of the cap and come into your mouth in a cross formation.
Amazing.
So it's not hitting the same spot in your tongue.
Amazing. What about this one? What about for me do a weak cut, for
Okay.
yourself do a normal cut?
Let's do it.
Very close up.
So with the V cut, it's actually the easiest cut to do. So there's no actual measurement. You already have the space designed in the cutter. You just hold it tight, push down, and then cut. So that's all you need to do.
And now the normal cut.
And then with the normal cut, also called the guillotine cut or a straight cut, this cigar that I chose is a little different because it's a torpedo. So this allows me to pick the flow based on how much I cut. So typically I don't go too far down. So you cut off the top. And then if you don't like the flow, the beauty of this cigar is you can always cut a little bit more.
Go, it flows.
No, bigger it's open.
Yeah, it opens, yeah. So that's the weak cut. Yeah, that's a nice flow. May I try this one too? Yeah, that's very, very, very nice. I'm super excited. How much are these? These are not cheap things.
So
Huh?
with the cigar accessory world, it's like you can go as high or as low as you want. The ones that I'm showing here are from a brand called St. Dupont, which is sort of as high of end as it can get when it comes
French.
to
It's
cigar.
a French brand.
It's a French brand. It's very old, very specific with the materials they use. All their lighters use precious metals. So if it looks like gold, it's actual gold.
So
Yeah.
these ones are actually gold.
Yes. So you got yellow gold. They have like rose gold, platinum, white gold.
Gold lighter. How much is it?
So these ones sort of range between like the mid 2000s and up.
This is $2,000.
This one is about 2,700.
That's a lot of NVIDIA and TQQ we're gonna trade. Yeah, nice. Wow.
And
That's
all of
amazing.
them have the signature ping.
Love that. So how do we turn it on? Can you teach us how to turn it on?
Of course. So basically, you have two different options. As a beginner, the torch lighter, which has this type of flame. Maybe if that's gas, it would have been nice. Let me grab a lighter that has gas in it. Actually, I have mine.
Yes.
All right, let's try again. So lighting it up, when you're new to cigars, it's very difficult to do it properly with soft flame.
Can you light it up here in the store?
What's
Or
that?
we have to go outside? Can
Well,
we do it here?
we'll do it special for your
Let's
podcast.
show
Yeah.
that.
But we can't smoke it in here.
No, we don't.
We'll just light it up so you can see. So basically, torch is your best friend when you're starting off.
Mhm.
All you want to do is, I'll actually do this so you can smoke it after. You take the flame and you almost use it as a brush and you just tap the edge. So all you're trying to do is get just the edge of the cigar where you have a white halo around it. And you want to be very careful not to burn the wrapper as much as possible.
Until it becomes like white.
So you have a white halo around the edge. And then now, all you do is without the flame touching, so you just puff and I'll hold the flame where it's supposed to be. So you don't need to move, you just puff. So the flame doesn't even need to touch the cigar, but as you can see, the heat resonating from it lights it up.
Beautiful.
Now you get a perfect burn around. It burns evenly. It's not gonna start running on you.
Yeah, and I don't inhale, so it goes into my mouth like it's just tasting it in my mouth. I love it.
Yeah.
I know it. I love it. Yeah, that's excellent. So, do you have any good question, guys, about the cigars?
Should we go smoke them
Let's do
at
it.
your place?
Let's go and smoke it,
Okay,
man.
let's go
try
smoke
it.
cigars.
Yeah.
How's that cigar?
It's great. It's actually really, really great. So the key here is that you shouldn't do it inside. So, but I think I'm smoking it too fast. He was saying that if you smoke too fast, it's gonna be this cone. So I'm gonna go slowly. Shall we walk?
Let's do it. I gotta grab my car.
Let's go. Where's your car?
In the parking?
LeBron James, he actually does.
He does smoke cigars.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
I've seen it, yeah.
Cigars and wine.
Yeah.
Which is a weird combo.
Cigar and wine?
Yeah, I've seen him do that. It's cigar and whiskey.
Cigar and whiskey is the one, yeah.
Or cigar and rum. That's good. I like cigar and
I
rum.
like that.
I prefer rum over whiskey. There's a little angry there. It's okay.
It's not something that you want to do day-to-day life. That's very important. This area is called Gastown in Vancouver, and Gastown is it's actually pretty cool neighborhood. All the cool little shops here, and
There's a nice shop.
look at my director, like he's. Let's go there.
You can never have too much fun, right?
You can never have too much fun. Yeah.
Gotta dance to the beat.
Yeah, I know. But you know, you should really not walk with this. But so Kia, you taught me a lot about cigars today. Let me teach you about trading. What do you want to know? Do you want?
Well,
That was some seagulls here.
behind the scenes. Teach me about it. Like pretend like I know nothing about day trading or the trading world at all.
So what we do is day trading, and day trading is different from investing. Investing is you buy something, you wait for 5 to 10 years, it's gonna go up.
Okay.
Most of the people to other contributions that they have, 401k, retirement account, the money goes there, and the professionals invest their money into their stocks and bond market. But what we do is we get profit from the volatility of the market, especially at the opening of hours.
Right.
And the market opens at 9:30 until to 11. There's a lot of volatility, and we try to capture those.
So what do you mean by volatility?
For example, the price of NVIDIA today from $890 per share popped up to $940 per share.
Wow.
So this volatility at the open, the volatility of the price, is really good for traders that they know how to trade and they get
Right.
it.
Because I know if I do it, I'd be buying it on the high and selling it on the low.
Most of the people do that. Yeah, most of the people do that. So that's what we do. We try to benefit from the volatility of the price in the first 2 hours of the market.
Right. And then when it comes to getting into this, how important is capital?
Very important, because the return that you're getting is depending a percentage of how much money you want to put in there.
Right.
If you have a $1 million account, it's very different expectation that you can have a $5,000 account.
Right.
But in terms of real profit.
Right.
But the percentage wise doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you have $1 million account, you can expect, for example, a really good day trader can expect, 0.5% a day.
Mhm.
And a $5,000 account, also you can expect 0.5% a day.
Okay.
But the question is, a trader with $5,000 might not have enough income to live based on day trading.
Right.
But for someone like me, that accounts is much bigger,
Mhm.
is more than enough for the lifestyle I have.
So would there be a dollar amount that you would recommend somebody start with, or it doesn't matter?
That's a good question. I think the most important thing for the people who want to start is with $0.
Really?
So you can start with simulator accounts.
Okay.
You don't need any bank account, any brokerage
Okay.
account, and trade for at least 3 months
Okay.
with fake money. Try to see the strategy, try to see these
Right.
patterns you recognize. And when you see that you have some sort of consistency
Okay.
to get that profit over the 3 months,
Right.
then you can open an account, small accounts.
Okay.
Even if I know you have money, but open a $5,000 account only
Right.
for practice on that.
It's good to start there.
Good to start. And
Okay.
then you see actually in the real account, you can trade like that as well. On that.
Okay.
And then if you think you're good, then you can slowly build up and increase your share size.
Okay.
The most dangerous part of trading is people open account, put everything that they got in there, maybe borrow money in there,
Yeah.
and then they start messing around with something that is super, super dangerous
Okay.
and difficult.
And then what are your thoughts on when people borrow money, which is also called,
Horrible idea, in my opinion.
There's a term for it when somebody uses money that's not their own. It's like a credit line, right?
Margin, yeah.
Margins,
They call
yeah.
it margin, yeah. So margin is a double-edged sword. For the people who know how to trade, margin is a good thing. I personally trade on margin every day.
Okay.
But it's been 10 years that I'm trading.
Okay.
So borrowing money is good if you know what you're doing and you are very responsible to money.
Okay.
The biggest form of margin is the mortgage.
Right.
When you buy a house and you mortgage, that's some sort of a margin. You know, you
Right.
put 20% down, 80% is the margin.
I see.
And it's pretty safe, and people do it because real estate doesn't have volatility that much.
Oh, okay.
But in the financial
It's
market,
different.
borrowing it, it's very good.
Now, how is it structured? Do you make payments every month if you do a margin, or you pay it back at the end of the day? Like, when
So-
is it expected?
Very good point. So if you open an account, most of the brokers give you a 4-to-1 margin. It means that if you have $50,000, they give you $200,000
Wow.
buying power. If you use it intraday,
Yeah.
no margin. If you close the position
Mhm.
and then at the end of the day your cash, no margin,
Wow.
no interest.
Nice.
But if you hold overnight, imagine that you have $50,000 and then you buy a position, the value of the position is $200,000, and at the end of the day, it's like you actually borrowed $150,000 from your broker.
Okay.
The broker is charging you
You get
interest.
interest
And
charge.
the interest charge is usually about 8-9% a year. So they calculate it daily
Oh,
and
wow.
then they deduct it from your account.
Oh, okay. So it's immediate.
It's immediate.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a 1 week or 1 month. Or,
No,
Okay.
they charge you daily on that.
Wow.
Now we have actually the brokers that are free commission.
Wow.
So their business model is based on collecting all the money from the people and having a big asset in their big banks.
Right.
Like Robinhood is like that.
Okay, I remember seeing that on that movie, The Big Short.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's designed for the people who are not sophisticated,
Okay.
but they are,
Part-time.
I would say, naive enough to get into this game.
Okay.
So Robinhood is designed to go after people that they love trading, but they're not very sophisticated,
Okay.
which is the most dangerous group of
It's
people.
very dangerous. And then when it comes to the actual, like you mentioned that once you get good at it, then you can start seeing the trends. Would you consider it almost like gambling, like where if you do this long enough, eventually you lose? Or is this something that you can beat the curve and continuously gain?
So trading and gambling are very, very similar. The difference with the gambling is when you're doing gambling, you don't have any edge over the casino.
Okay.
You're always statistically losing. What about blackjack? You can go play blackjack exactly the same that the dealer plays.
Right.
Dealer, usually in the blackjack, they hit at the soft 17. It's written on the table.
Yeah, just
So
follow
you
the
might
rules.
say, okay, I'm going to go follow the same rule that the blackjack guy,
Yeah.
so I should have the same chance
Yeah.
as the dealer. But do you know what's the edge of the casino in blackjack?
What's that?
Is that you have to hit first
Before they do.
before they do.
Yeah.
So there is a chance that you bust yourself
Before they do. Yeah.
So everything else is similar, but
Okay.
you have to, take the chance first. So the gambling, you don't have any edge. But in trading, the strategy that you're building, you test it, and over time, statistically gives you a positive expectancy.
Right.
So it means that you gain more than you lose.
Okay.
So even with 50% chance of accuracy,
Yeah.
you get a stopped out $1,000, you make $2,000, and you
Okay.
are profitable.
So now that you've been doing this for like over a decade now, do you still get surprises or something?
Every single day.
Okay.
This is something, a high performing field. So day trading is a high performing field. It's not that a lot of people are asking me, Andrew, when do I become a trader? A successful trader? My answer is never. You always have to be careful.
Okay.
Like, when can you say I am a fit person?
Okay.
Never. You always have to watch the diet.
Yeah.
You always have to make sure that the
Never
alcohol,
ending.
everything, never ending. It's
Yeah.
the work in progress.
Okay.
So you are one decision away from blowing up everything.
It's very stressful.
Very stressful. What I call is more than a stressful, what I call is a high performing activity.
Okay.
It's like professional athletes.
Okay.
When the people play ping pong. It's a high professional activity. You have to be ready, no matter how good you are in training, that moment you have to perform well. If for any reason mentally you're not ready or physically you're not ready, doesn't matter who you
Okay.
are.
So you'd say it's very important to consistently do this every day.
I think showing up is very important to
Okay.
every day. It's very important to make sure that you're patient. Just because you're bored and you start trading, it's very easy with a click. Very
Right.
important to be patient. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not for everybody.
Right.
It's a business. It's a very professional, serious activity.
Okay.
Like a lot of people, like for example, you might be able to do that because you open the shop at 11, 10 a.m. So you have
Yeah.
time. But a lot of people have to go at work at 7 a.m.
True.
There's no way that they become
Okay.
trader. And I tell them, do not even try.
Okay. So another question I have, when you're doing these day trades, does it have anything to do with the company itself? Do you do research on the company, or are you just playing on the trend?
Both.
Okay.
So what we are looking at every single day is which companies have huge volatility.
Okay.
For example, right now we are in the AI mania.
Okay.
It means that all these AI companies and related to AIs like NVIDIA, who produces the chips for processing of
Okay.
AI, they're active. The volatility.
Oh,
is
so that's the
amazing.
reason that they're very active.
Exactly. But this might not stay volatile forever.
Right.
During the pandemic, after the pandemic, all the companies that related to pandemic, they were super active.
I see.
Like for example, airline and cruise lines. Nobody was using them. Their volatility of their stock really almost
okay.
to the downside. And then vaccine companies like Pfizer, Moderna, we were
Right.
trading them all because
Okay.
work from home, Zoom, Python,
Okay.
Peloton. These are work from home sector, but they're not active anymore.
Right.
So the market changes and shifts. So you have to understand the
Okay.
market. You have to understand the sectors, and the best way of being on top of it is being around other traders,
I see.
having a community. This YouTube channel, and, you come to the YouTube and see, okay, who's trading what. Sometimes I wake up late. I come 1 minute before the market opens.
Yeah.
I'm asking quickly, hey guys, what are you trading? And say, hey, Walmart today had an earning. I say,
Okay.
okay, well, I don't need to research. So the
So
power of community.
Do you find that the community helps when it comes to like, if people make the same trade, does it reduce what you can make, or does it make any difference?
it's a very good question. A lot of people are telling me, hey, if you know how to trade, why do you teach people? If you really make money out of trading, why do you teach people? The answer to that is if more and more people trade the same strategy, it works better.
Okay.
It has this self-prophecy.
Right.
If everybody buys at the same time, the momentum starts better. I want everybody trades this together
Okay.
because this momentum of the volatility helps for all the traders.
Okay. That's really interesting.
But you have to accept that traders take money from each other. If you lose money, you might lose it to me. So
Right.
you have to know the strategy, but who manages it better
Right.
is the one that at the end of the day is winner.
Okay.
Sometimes in our community, Brian and I, or Paris and I, or a lot of our traders trade same stock, completely opposite of each other. At the end of the day, we are both profitable
Wow.
because the way that we trade and manage our position,
Just timing.
timing,
Yeah.
and the weight, the time frame, and the pattern. Sometimes I go long, going up,
And another side. you go
another
short.
side goes short, but
Wow.
his time frame is different, so he
Okay.
stays there, and then when he comes back,
That's very
it's different.
interesting.
That's the beauty of
Yeah.
financial market.
So when it comes to trading, do you have a specific strategy you follow?
Yeah, I have two main strategies that I trade every single day in YouTube. You can actually see it in live. One of them is the opening range breakout,
Okay.
and I do it almost every single day. We do have research paper published on that with my friend,
Really?
that how it works, and back test over 10 years and see how that strategy works. Statistically, it's a very powerful one.
Okay.
And I have another one, reversal. When something drops really fast, we try to catch the bounce on it
Okay.
as a reversal.
So are these your own proprietary strategies?
No, they are the strategies known. People have published research on it, and I
Okay.
say these are not secrets. They're available. It's in my
Nice.
book. It's in our YouTube,
Nice.
and that's the beauty of it. These are you don't need this proprietary information.
Okay.
People try to find these secret sauce. There is no secret sauce.
Okay.
Information is out there. The secret to success is how you manage that.
Okay.
Like a video game. Everybody plays video game. Everybody knows the video game, but can you play it well?
Fair enough. And then with your lifestyle, I see you travel a lot. Does that affect your trading? Are you able to keep up with your...
My office is in a bag with a laptop and two extra screens. Everywhere that I go, I can trade. And
Really?
most of the places have really good 5G or Wi-Fi right
Okay.
now. I really rarely had any trouble with the internet connection.
Have you ever made a big mistake or lost big because of no connection?
It happened to me a few times, but it wasn't a really big
Okay.
loss.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
so sometimes it happens, but again, as you have the control management, the share size proper.
Okay.
My biggest loss, which was over $2 million,
Whoa.
was not from traveling or internet, was actually from using excess margin in a downward market. I just bought too much, hold it too much, didn't respect my own rules,
Fair
and that
enough.
was my biggest loss.
Okay. And then on the other side of the lifestyle, does it affect you having to wake up because we're in a time zone where you're waking up at 5, 6 a.m. in the morning? You have to do this Monday to Friday, or do you do this the weekends as well?
I do it Monday to Friday
Okay.
because market opens only Monday to Friday, and I love it
Mhm.
because the stock market is only Monday to Friday. Other markets might open 24/7, but I love that because I start my day at 5:30, and I finish it by 8:30. And I go for a run by 9:30. Most of the people are still getting ready to go to work, and my day is done.
Wow.
I love it. Pacific time zone is one of the best time zone for
So you
trading.
don't work all the way through to the closing bell?
No, I only trade 2 hours in the morning.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well,
That's a nice-
let's
that's a nice
make you a
shift.
trader.
Let's do it.
Well, thank you so much for teaching me
pleasure.
about cigars and
Definitely.
Rylet. This is one of my vices that I do, and I really enjoy it. I don't do it very often, but it's really nice. And I hope that the information that I gave you about trading was useful for
Very
you.
useful.
So I think I have a gift for you.
Really?
This is my book, How to Day Trade for a Living.
Wow.
If you want more information about trading,
Mhm.
go through this book. It's
Okay.
very simple written.
Nice.
It's available on Amazon if anyone wants to in different formats, Kindle, paperback, or audiobook. A lot of basic information and basic strategies are in there.
Amazing.
That's a very good starting point for anyone who wants to become a trader. And I'm here to answer any questions that you have in the comments. I really appreciate if you like and subscribe to my channel. And again, I personally answer all the comments. If you have any question, if you like this video, or even if you don't like this video, leave me in the comments and I'll reply to that. Thank you so much. I really
Definitely.
appreciate that, buddy.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
hope I'm looking forward to many
Definitely.
years of friendship.
We'll do it.
All the best.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.